Hello and welcome guys to Theme Park Information. In today's show we'll be discussing whether or not upcharge attractions are good value for money. Let's start by explaining what they are. They are a ride or attraction in which you have to pay more money to use outside of what you've already paid for the entrance fee. This does exclude like amusement parks where you can have to maybe pay per ride. So for example like Listyberg you have to pay per ride. I have been on quite a few of these attractions, most recently Vertigo at Oakwood, which cost £30 for me, Jake and Tim to ride, or £10 each, and it was well worth it for £10. I had a great time, but whether or not it's worth going on time after time is where this kind of comes down to it. It's a bit of a strange one. It's like it's well worth going on once in the blue moon, but not every time you visit the park. And it's slightly the same with like the go-karts at Heidi Park. They were €5 to go on. They were really good fun when we went on them, but whether or not they would still be fun if you were to go on them 3 or 4 times and spend like €20, €25, whether or not that fun would diminish slightly. Obviously that would be entirely up to who you're racing and how much fun you're having, but I think it would get a little bit boring. In the same way, most of the upcharge attractions tend to be things like mini golf, and quite a few theme parks have these, like Drake Manor, Oakwood had them, Alton Towers had them. Alton Towers is a really good example because their golf course is £6 per person, and for £6, the first time I went on it, it was really good. I had a great time. The holes were interesting, quite funny, they incorporated their rides really well worth £6. But if I was to go there every year and play the same course, which wasn't improving or getting better, that might very much diminish how much value for money I thought it was. Now, obviously, you don't have to go on these rides, you don't have to pay the money, you can completely ignore them. I've been to Oakwood before, and I've decided not to go on Vertigo and save myself the money then. It is entirely up to you, but I would say they are well worth going on once every so often. In a strange kind of mixed kind of feedback for this, it's like they're well worth it and good value for money if you don't overuse them. The second you start overusing them, you end up paying too much to get on them, and they get a little bit boring and stale, and that's not really what you want. You want to go on the rides you get included when you go into the park, and upcharge attractions tend to be a way of theme parks getting a little bit more money out of you, because only so many people, for example, can ride Vertigo in a day. So Oakwood have every right to charge you to go on it. It's an incredibly high octane thrill, well worth going on once. If you go for the theme parks the first time, I'd recommend going on it. But if you go there every year, I probably wouldn't. I'd probably be like, go on it like every 3 years or every 2, one every 2 years, and that'd be good value for money for you then. Overall though, most of these rides tend to be pretty good, but you just can't overuse them because you just end up burning through money, and it becomes less value for money the more you go on them. Right, hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys later.